Hello folks, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We had some really nice weather here. It's warmed back up, but not going to be too long until fall is here, so I believe I can hang on. Anyhow, today I want to talk about the basics of my raw food diet, all of it in one spot. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you go down and hit the subscribe button. Click on the little bell, check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel, and come back and check out some more of my content. I'm probably not going to talk about anything today a whole lot different than I've talked about in other videos before. I just kind of want to put like the basics of how I do this, my philosophy in one place, kind of like to use as a reference. Like when people ask me questions, sometime I can just direct them there. And once again, when you say you pay very close attention to the title, very close attention to my words. These are the basics of my raw food diet. I'm not one of those that thinks my way's the one true path, or that there is one true path, exactly, you know, how to eat on this lifestyle. A lot of different people doing this raw thing and they're thriving, and they don't all do it the same. And it's not like every little minute detail is not that important. So, like I say, this is just how I've been doing it for the last 9 years. I've evolved along the way. I've learned things. And that's one thing I want to really stress to you. When you get new information on something, don't reject that information just because it goes against any information that you have along the path. Always be open to new knowledge, new information, anytime it pops up. So, the basics of my raw food diet, if you've even been watching me for more than 15 seconds, it's like fruit. Fruit is absolutely the base. I eat fruit every day. I eat large quantities of fruit. I would say on most days that almost all days, fruit definitely makes up the bulk of the calories on my lifestyle. I eat lots of bananas. I'm still getting good mangoes down here. I'm on a mango tear, and that's my favorite fruit, just for reference too. So anytime I'm getting mangoes, anytime I'm getting plenty of mangoes, I can get by with just mangoes and bananas. It'd be nice for a little bit of diversity to have some papaya right now, but the papayas have just been too hit and miss to spend the money on them. But anyhow, I came to this lifestyle living in Costa Rica, so I was in the tropics, so fruit was everywhere, and fruit has been a big part of my lifestyle since day one. I tend to lean, I'm in the States. I've been back in the States for 4 years, and I still like to get my mangoes even though they're not local, because I don't know, the tropical fruit just resonates with my body more. But tell you what, if I was up in upstate New York or in some places up north right now, I think we're about to get into apple season, grape season. Wouldn't mind being there. So got that fruit as the base. The greens. I've just kind of realized, unless I get to a point where I'm independently wealthy and I just have, I just order greens all the time and I'm focused on greens all day, I'm never going to get as many as I want. I'm always trying to get more greens, and I don't think we can eat too many greens. The greens are so good for us. I keep kale in my refrigerator all the time. Kale is my green of choice for my green smoothies, but in my salads I have romaine lettuce, I have red leaf lettuce. I try to get some spinach in there from time to time. I'd give anything to get some arugula, but greens, get those greens in. The fruit's not enough without the greens, not for me anyway. And I've got a nice big green smoothie here I'm going to finish up after I finish this video. And I've got a little method for getting your more greens in your green smoothies too. Is a method I've been using for a long time. First I blend up my bananas with a little bit of water. Then I stuff it with kale. Then I blend that. And I mean, I stuff it with kale. I blend that. Then I double stuff it. I stuff it again after I've blended. Then I blend that again. That double stuff just allows you to get more greens in there, and it's super dense when you're putting that much stuff in there. So Be sure you're focused on the greens. Oh, and let me stop for a second there and just say two resources I was kind of looking at over the weekend that I don't check in on every once in a while. They're on my Kindle, and that is Becoming Raw by Brenda Davis. I know you've probably, a lot of you people that have been around for a while have heard me mention her an infinite amount of times. But Becoming Raw by Brenda Davis. Great explanation. It's got a good index in the back, so just like little individual things you can learn of. A lot of good science on this raw food diet. A lot of practical science, not the woo-woo stuff. And she uses real words, and it just seems like she just seems like more of an authority, and she is more of an authority because she's been doing this stuff for I don't know how many years she's been doing it, but Becoming Raw and 80-10-10. Now, I don't follow 80-10-10 as the program, as the diet, as whatever you want to, as the, lifestyle where people do it as a thing. But there's a lot of good information in 80-10-10. I like to try to follow those ratios. And there's a lot of good explanations in there, like and also in Becoming Raw, like if you want to know things like where do you get your protein? Where are you getting your calcium? Can I eat that? That's another thing too. I'll do these what I eat in a day videos sometime, or I'll mention some sort of food, or I'll show something on Instagram and people are like, are you supposed to eat that raw? Can you eat that raw? There's a good section in that Becoming Raw on all those kind of little marginal things. And there's things that she recommends, don't eat these raw. There's things that you might think you're not supposed to, that she says it's fine to eat raw. And then there's others that she says do it sparingly. So those two books are great resources on the basics, the basic nutrition science, all that kind of stuff of this lifestyle. Something I've added over the last year, and I love it, and I just increased that a little bit more, is sprouts. I cannot rave on and on and on and enough about sprouts. I'm not educated enough to sit around and do a full-on talk and tell you get this and you get that. I do have a talk if you want to search it here on lentil sprouts, but I've been doing lentil sprouts on the reg for about a year now. I'm continuing to do that. I just, in this smoothie right here, I used some fresh broccoli sprouts this morning. Actually, the first time I've really been successful growing some broccoli sprouts. So I've added those broccoli sprouts in there. I've got some chickpea sprouts over there. And yes, you can eat sprouted chickpeas. You can eat those raw. You can make hummus out of them. You can do whatever. But up in my sprout game. Look into sprouts. Just go to Google. Just go search YouTube if you want to learn a little bit more about them. But a lot of times, like the sprouts, the lentil sprouts, are more available to your body in the sprouted form. You get the lysine is one of the amino acids that's hard to get. You get the lysine in there. So, but anyhow, just get into those sprouts. Learn more about sprouts. I swear by sprouts. Another tenet of my food religion here is lots of variety, lots of colors. When you're making those salads, think rainbow. Try to get all those colors in there. In my salads, I've got lettuces, I've got plenty of greens. A lot of times I've got cucumbers, that lettuce cucumber in there. We got the greens. You chop up some tomatoes in there. I use red cabbage, broccoli. I chop my cabbage and broccoli. That's something else too. Somebody's sitting out there thinking, oh my God, I can't digest raw broccoli, raw cabbage. I can digest all those, but one thing will help you is put it in your food processor, chop it up, and make it a little bit easier. But just get all those colors in there. I'm not like these days when I make a salad, I try to get, I'd gotten a little bit bored with it where it was just lettuce, maybe some sprouts, and a dressing. Now I'm trying to get as much stuff in there as possible. So make a game out of it. See how many different colors you can get in your salad. See how many different varieties of vegetables you can eat over the course of a week, but get that variety in there. It's great for your gut microbiome or your biome. I always forget those micros or biomes. Low fat. Low fat. Now, what does low fat mean? That's different to different people, and I'm not going to try to pinpoint and say the must be 10% or below. Women, a lot of times, will tend to go a little bit higher. I know women thrive and do very well, 15 to 20%. Men can get down a little bit less. Myself, I go through phases throughout the year. I'd say over the course of the year, I would probably average about 10%. Right now, if you've been following my channel, my videos, I've mentioned it a number of times, I've been in a uber low fat stage. In fact, in the last 6 weeks, the only fat I've been getting is some omega-3s with some hemp seeds. I just like to do that every once in a while. As I keep mentioning in videos, we need fat. Fat is necessary for us. And probably one more week and I'm going to go back to getting regular, overt fat in my diet. Get some, avocados, coconut, almond butter, tahini, but use those things sparingly. That's what's happening with people. And I'm not flip-flopping, but I'm jumping back to the fruit here. One thing I get all the time is people, well, I can't eat the fruit like you do. Why? Why am I some sort of a special being? Oh, I get fat when I eat fruit, or fruit does this, or fruit does that. These things, these conceptions you have about fruit are conceptions that people give you about fruit, and I might even agree with them if you're still eating garbage. If you're eating the standard American diet, no, you don't need to add a lot of fruit to a standard American diet. You're going to get fat. If you're eating like I'm eating and like I've been eating for 9 years, I don't know how I would get fat on fruit. I just don't know how to get fat on fruit. Where people are getting fat on fruit is, like I say, they're eating a lot of fruit in addition to a lot of processed food, certain types of cooked food that doesn't serve them, or maybe they're even, like I say, adding the fruit and still eating a standard American diet on other areas of their eating other than just the fruit. But the fruit is not going to make you fat. If you're combining badly, or if you're eating a lot of fat with a lot of fruit, yeah, there's a lot of ways that can go wrong for you. But in general, the fruit's not going to make you fat, but keep it low fat. Keep it low fat. I would say anywhere from 10 to 20%, and see how you feel on that lower range at 10%. But just play with that. Like I say, I'm not all caught up in the particular one. Basic food combining. Once again, you don't have to be a fanatic and memorize the chart and be like, oh God, I mixed a sweet fruit with this type of a fruit. I mean, I don't do absolute perfect fruit combining all the time, and I've had people that get picky before, and they'll say, well, you shouldn't combine this with that, and I'm like, well, I don't do it all the time, and in general, I use basic good food combining. Just go to Google, you can get one of those charts, like just go to Google and raw food diet, food combining, plant-based food combining, do raw vegan food combining, and go to the images, and you'll get a little chart that'll give you very simple tips on how to follow that. Supplements. I supplement because I'm always watching for my nutrition. It's like I always say, it's about health and nutrition for me. I know a lot of the true believers out there consider that blasphemy, and they don't use supplements. You know what I say? Good on you. If you don't want to use them, don't use them. Let's stop getting so emotional about this stuff and like arguing, getting so mad. I've seen discussions before on supplements where people are as angry as like some of the biggest fiery issues of the day, and I'm just sitting there. Are they really sitting here having an angry argument over this? So supplements, I supplement. I use an omega-3, a vegan omega-3. I supplement a little bit of zinc because I'm not always sure I'm getting all my zinc. I supplement D3 because I don't always get the proper amount of sunlight on a regular basis that I should. And what else? B12, a sublingual B12, absolutely. And those are the ones that I supplement, and I almost kind of consider my blackstrap molasses a supplement because I take that pretty much strictly for the calcium and iron value. And a tablespoon of blackstrap molasses, which is in this smoothie, you get 20% of your daily need for calcium, and I think 19% for iron. And I should mention, doing this the way I've been doing for years. When the cleaner you eat, the more you can eat. That's another one of my little cliches. The cleaner you eat, the more you can eat. So if you are I believe if you're eating the right foods, you can't eat too much. You can't eat too much and gain weight. When you're doing that, you really have to examine your diet and say, am I eating what my body really needs? Because I'll tell you something, in 9 years, I'm never hungry. Well, when I say I'm never hungry that I don't feed myself. If I'm hungry, I eat. I don't have to sit around and go, well, I better not eat. I ate a little while ago and I'm going to gain weight until dinner. No, I don't have to. Never. And I rarely, every once in a while, there'll be a special occasion or I'll have something to eat that I really, really like, haven't had in a long time, but very rarely do I get stuffed, overfill myself. Let's see, I've got notes down here. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything out on the thing. And once again, like I say, I go back to, I'm just trying to always get as much nutrition. I'm just going to always preach the basic message, getting the nutrition in this lifestyle, getting the nutrition in this diet. It's not enough. So many people are just focused on, how can I get to fully raw? How can I get to fully raw? And I see some of the things they're eating and doing, and it's almost like they're just doing whatever, however, just to get to the raw part. And I see so many people that are just not really focused on their nutrition. And I'll finish with this. That's why so many people fail on this lifestyle, or that's why so many people can't stick with it, is because, as I'm always saying, they're not feeding themselves the nutrition they need. Just being raw, just eating a bunch of fruit all the time is not going to be enough. If you're not getting the nutrition that your body needs, that your body craves, it's always going to be hungry. It's always going to be unsatisfied and looking for more. So, like I say, don't necessarily take a note and do everything like I do, but know why you're doing what you do, and at least with an open mind, sincerely look into the nutrition part of it. Look into what you need to get. And like I say, don't necessarily just go to YouTube and find somebody that you like, that you resonate, that does a YouTube channel. But and verify everything that everybody tells you. Everybody tells you, because there's no gurus out there. Every once in a while when I hear that term come up, like, oh, he's a raw, like that person, not talking about me, but talking about, oh, they're a raw food diet guru. There ain't no damn gurus. This thing ain't been around long enough. Guru. Don't make me laugh. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. Hope it maybe helps a little bit with just the basics. Maybe if you would, how about sharing this around for me a little bit? Give it a thumbs up. And hopefully I will see you here in a couple of days. Peace.